So everybody, consumer price inflation in March is expected to have spiked the most since December 1981, driven by higher food costs, rising rents, and runaway energy prices. The consumer price index will be released this week, and economists expect a monthly jump of 1.1% and a year-over-year gain of 8.4%. That compares with February's increase of 0.8%, the highest increase since early 1982. And according to AAA, gasoline prices also recently surged, reaching a national average of $4.33 per gallon. But the Federal Reserve is expected to tighten its policy aggressively to rein in the highest inflation in 4 decades. Markets expect a half-point hike in May, and economists say a hot inflation report could also bring a half-point hike in June. The Fed first raised interest rates by a quarter point in March after cutting the Fed funds largest rate to 0 in early 2020. But the biggest question now is whether central bank officials can successfully tame inflation and stabilize prices without triggering an economic recession. Now, there is some news and for some legislation that is being negotiated on right now. Lawmakers have been considering guaranteed income programs this year. However, these programs are distinct from stimulus checks as they provide payments each month over an extended period of time. The concept of offering Americans a basic or guaranteed income moved even more prominently into 2020. Since then, a number of cities across the country have been trying their own versions of the universal basic income, like in the city of New Jersey, like in the city of Newark, New Jersey, which recently expanded a basic income program there to 400 residents. Each of the recipients is getting a total of $12,000 over 2 years, and the participants are low income and have to prove a hardship of some kind of stemming from the crisis. The California Senator Dave Cortese is now sponsoring a bill for the state to give no strings attached checks to about 15,000 high school seniors.
49 years ago. And meanwhile, while working families are struggling, while most families now require 2 breadwinners to pay the bills. And let me say to young people, I know this may sound extraordinary to you. There was once a time in America, like when I was growing up, that in most families, one person went to work in those days, mostly the man, the father, went to work and was able to earn enough money to take care of the whole family. Think about that. But because of increases, because wages have not kept up with inflation, because of increases in healthcare, in education, and housing, we now need, in most cases, mom and dad, husband and wife, go out to work in order to pay the bills. Meanwhile, while that reality is taking place, while people are working incredible hours, struggling to put food on the table, the people on top, the wealthiest people in this country, are doing phenomenally well, and perhaps have never been so well off in American history. So that is the dynamic of where we are today. Ordinary people struggling. COVID has made that crisis worse. People on top doing incredibly well. Today, the wealthiest person, I want you all to hear this, in our country, Elon Musk, is now worth $243 billion.
Everybody, lawmakers in Congress have confirmed that changes are going to be made this year to Social Security benefits. Now, this is going to affect everybody on Social Security, SSI, and SSDI. Like I said, there's a lot of developments going on around the fourth stimulus check, so stay tuned for more updates. Got some pretty good news, and it's that their benefits will be going up by 5.9% in 2022. Representing the largest raise in decades. Meanwhile, the start of 2023 has brought about severe spikes in inflation, and that gets to the stage for an even higher bump in benefits come 2023. So everybody, it has just been announced that the consumer price index for all urban consumers rose 7.9% on an annual basis, making its steepest annual gain in over 40 years. And if this trend persists, then seniors on Social Security could see their benefits rise more next year. In addition to this, 2022's 5.9% COLA is a great thing for millions of seniors, but many beneficiaries are already losing their buying power when buying things because the rate of inflation is just crazy. Now, I know that many of you are wondering how much relief will be provided if inflation continues to rise. Well, according to CNBC, if high levels of inflation persist, then seniors can end up seeing a COLA in the 7% range in 2023.